First off, why'd you give the money?
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me on this morning. You know, our firm did pretty well in 2020. And at the end of the year, we decided to give focus to our philanthropic efforts by forming a foundation. And we thought, in honor of Black History Month, that we wanted our first contributions from the foundation to be given in honor of educational institutions like Spelman and Howard that are the nation's top-ranked historically Black colleges.
All right. Well, I'm sure they were very happy to receive it. Now let's talk markets. As we take a look at the broader averages this morning, I'm just curious, what are your thoughts as we find ourselves here at really all-time highs on the S&P?
Yes, well, these are remarkable results, you know, given what we're facing. I think everyone is strongly anticipating a very substantial stimulus package. As you know, I spend a lot of my time in the muni market, a $3.8 trillion market that has really also been on fire in terms of really achieving record lows for municipal issuers. And we haven't seen these kinds of ratios with munis and treasuries being this low ever. And we still are seeing tons of interest by investors because there's been so little supply in the market.
I just want to dig into that a little bit more, Suzanne. It's Morgan. The ratios between munis and treasuries, why? Why is it so low? Is it anticipation of more stimulus?
Yeah, I think the market has really baked in anticipation of more stimulus. We also, I think are seeing there is an expectation at some point tax rates may change. We've seen 13 straight weeks of municipal inflows to mutual funds as well, and just very, very low supply. I think there may come a point where investors take a little pause, but we saw last week the city of Detroit bring a $175 million deal. The city's been on a, very aggressive comeback mode, as you all know, but everyone's struggling with the pandemic. Well, the transaction that came last week had spreads that were half of what they achieved just when they came to market in October, and had over 60 investors place orders and many maturities 20 times oversubscribed.
Wow. It's kind of amazing to hear that. And I think about something like the MTA, for example, and how much capital they've been able to raise over the past year in the midst of the pandemic. I do want to shift gears back to the news of the day for a minute, though. I mean, when we talk about diversity and inclusion, you've really been kind of putting your money where your mouth is for some time. And I realize we have a long way to go, and the conversation is being had. The donations are being made for a reason. But what do you think, I guess, longer term is it going to take for us as a society to get past identifying institutions or companies or people as female-led or minority-owned, et cetera?
Well, we have a ton of work to do. We saw the financial services industry go backwards after the last financial crisis. And, my hope is that I'm really excited, the first time in 33 years that everyone is talking about this issue and corporations are really trying to make impactful change. I mean, we really have to worry about pipeline. And that's why we're focusing these gifts on two institutions that have a history of graduating top Black leaders who should be leading corporations. Today, we have only one Black woman CEO of a Fortune 500 company. That's Roz Brewer, who happens to be a Spelman grad. I think we just really need to make sure we're sponsoring Blacks within these corporations so that there's a pathway to the top.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.